I have been misgendered 3 times in the past 24 hours at restaurants.
I am not a sir. I am not a sir. I am not a sir.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to a brand new video. Before we get started, can we just give some props? Can we just take a moment to appreciate the tree? I mean, look at the tree. Look at that beauty. Look at it. All right. I just wanted you guys to see the masterpiece of the tree. Yes, I am obsessed with Christmas. There is a tree in every single room because I'm crazy. But back to the video. So in this video, as you saw a little bit from the intro, we're going to be going over a video from a very popular trans identifying man on TikTok who spends their entire time complaining about being misgendered. They troll different restaurants throughout the city and then make videos, you know, calculating millions, complaining about people misgendering them. So we're gonna watch this video together of this creator who just made this video a couple of days ago complaining about being misgendered and the horrors of being misgendered. Roll it.
I have been misgendered 3 times in the past 24 hours at restaurants. Last night I was at Benihana with my girlfriend and the server said, "What about you, sir? What would you like to eat?" My girlfriend, God bless her heart, steps in, says, "Actually, that's ma'am." And she looks at my girlfriend and didn't really understand what had happened and said, "No, I'm talking to him," pointing at me. Our jaws were on the floor and we decided to leave because it was just a bad vibe after that. And just a few minutes ago, I was at another restaurant for lunch and they showed me my seat and said, "Here you go, sir." And I said, "I am not a sir." And then I left because I wasn't comfortable anymore. And I went to a new restaurant and I asked, "Before I sit down, where's the bathroom, please?" And they said, "Oh, it's right this way, sir." And I just left because I wasn't comfortable anymore. If you're a server in the food industry, you don't need to use words like sir or ma'am. There are ways to be respectful without using those words. And if you get it wrong for someone like me, I will probably leave the restaurant. And it puts like a bad vibe on my day when it happens, especially when it happens 3 times in a row.
All right, so let's talk about this video. Let's talk about what Lily is crying about in the video. So this creator is upset because they kept going to different restaurants and the waiters kept misgendering this trans identifying man by saying, "Hi, sir," "Hello, sir," "There's a bathroom, sir," things of that nature. And yeah, Lily wasn't having it. Here's the thing. Here's my overall takeaway from this situation. Not everyone who is trans is passing. They're not. And Lily, you are not passing. You're not. You look like a man in a wig. You look like somebody who is cross-dressing, i.e. a man cross-dressing as a woman, cosplaying as a woman. Now, that isn't transphobic to say, that's just reality. Not everybody is going to have the vocabulary that you want them to have in this day and age. It's just not gonna happen. And if people look at you and they see someone who looks like a cross-dresser, who looks like a man in a wig, they sometimes will say "sir" accidentally as they're speaking to you because they're not sure if you identify as a woman or if you are just a man in a wig cross-dressing like men back in the day used to do before this whole trans explosion happened. See, back in the day, men were able to acknowledge that although they like dressing as women, they still are men. They understood biology. You want people to have your perspective, your woke perspective of gender being fluid and gender changing, and based on how you feel is who a person is. But the reality is a lot of people do not subscribe to that thinking. They just don't. And guess what? It doesn't make them transphobic. It doesn't make them hateful. It doesn't mean the world revolves around you. It isn't against you. Sometimes it just comes out. And it isn't being done purposefully to hurt your feelings. Now, I know in this day and age where the community thinks that the world revolves around them, that's a hard concept to grasp. Grasp it. Just grasp it. Not everything is about you. And just because you walk into a restaurant, it does not mean that everyone is going to subscribe to your way of thinking and see the world through your lens. And guess what? That's okay. If you're gonna march out of restaurants and cause chaos everywhere you go because people misgender you, you might as well just stay at home and eat alone. Because people are going to misgender. People are not going to have your woke mentality. People are not going to subscribe to your way of thinking. And that's okay as well. Their intention isn't to hurt you. Their intention is to seat you, feed you, and then get you the hell out of there and get the next person in. It's called business, a job, a restaurant. They're not thinking about your feelings. They're just not. And the idea that you're proposing, oh, I think restaurants should stop using gender terms like male or female or ma'am or sir. Let me remind you that the trans population is less than 0.1%, okay? Less than 0.1%. And you want our language to change to accommodate less than 0.1% of the population. That's called being a narcissist. That's called having very high expectations that the world is going to revolve around your way of thinking. And unfortunately, that's just not going to happen. People are not going to change their way of speaking or their way of greeting others based on what makes you feel comfortable. Now, I know in your echo chamber, it is loud. And in your loud echo chamber, you all believe that your way of thinking is the end all be all. And everyone else is going to adapt and affirm your way of thinking. Now, if you go to a liberal college, if you go to, heck, elementary school, that may be the way of thinking. But in the real world, outside of the liberal echo chambers, people are just living their lives. They're not thinking about those gender terms. They're not thinking about the woke ideology. Again, they're just trying to get from point A to point B. They want to seat you, feed you, and get you out of there. And hopefully you tip well. That's all they care about. There is no agenda. And no, greeting languages are not going to change. And the audacity to expect that to happen to accommodate you, a person, a part of the 0.1%, is laughable. But it's also expected because the left is completely unhinged when it comes to their way of thinking. Everyone has to adapt to them, end all be all. Let's all change language. And sadly, it is effective in some areas, like even the medical field, where now it is offensive in medical professional settings to say terms like mother. No, it's birthing person. Breastfeeding. No. Chest feeders. It's exhausting is what it is. But see, people like Lily enjoy making videos like that because rather than just being the bigger person and saying, you know what, this one individual in this restaurant probably isn't aware of my gender ideology or my gender identity, and that's okay. I'm going to enjoy my food. No, instead, it's better to storm out, record it, and then make a video crying about it on the streets because poor you, poor you. Somebody misgendered you. Oh my God. If you're that fragile, I feel sorry for you. But this isn't about fragility. This is about a person needing content for their TikTok videos, and what better way to make content for TikTok than to be outraged? Of course. Do I really think that this person is expecting others to assume their gender identity based on their attire? No, I really don't. Because I think Lily knows what they look like. They are not a female passing person. They're just not. Now, if you look like Blair White, yes, I would say that looks like a female. You do not. Sorry. The cards were not in your favor. They just weren't. And you can't get mad and upset at other people for not understanding that when they look at you and when they see a man. And you can yell, you can scream, you can claim transphobia and bigotry and abuse if you want, which I'm sure you probably will because that's lucrative. But the rest of us are looking at you and your community like you're crazy. And by the way, that mentality is why Donald Trump won. One of the most effective ads for Donald Trump was the ad in which Kamala Harris, Miss Chameleon, was talking about how excited she was to push forth this bill to force Californians to pay for gender reassignment surgery in prison. And at the end of the ad, it says, Kamala Harris is for they, them. Donald Trump is for you. And that ad was one of the most effective ads in political ad history. No joke. That should tell you where our society, where our culture is heading. People are sick and tired of the lilies, of the people making a mountain out of a molehill, crying about everything and expecting the world to revolve around you and your feelings. Get over it. You look like a man. It is what it is. Who cares? If you identify as a woman and you see yourself as a woman, why do you put so much emphasis on other people's perspectives of you? Why do you put so much weight on other people and how they view you? If you truly are happy with who you are, it shouldn't matter what John Doe at the restaurant has to say. If you were so secure with who you are, How others identify you wouldn't matter. But see, an insecure person who doesn't know who or what they are, who is confused, who doesn't have a whole lot of belief in themselves, they're the types to make videos like that. My advice, Lily, don't go to a restaurant. Go to a therapist. And no, I'm not being cold-hearted. I'm not being rude. I'm not being aggressive. I'm just being honest and truthful. And I think people are sick and tired of us having to walk on eggshells to appease the feelings of fragile people like Lily. Get over it. The world does not revolve around you. Eat your food and get out. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this video. Is Lily just exaggerating the situation, or do they have a reason to be upset? And are the waiters and the wait staff and the restaurants, and multiple restaurants, are they just being purposefully rude to this person? Or are they just trying to get this person fed and out the door like every other customer? You let me know down below. If you enjoy my content, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. Until next time, peace.